പുതിയൊരു ക്ലാസ്സിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം. ഒരു ചെറിയൊരു ബ്രേക്കിന് ശേഷമാണ്. 10 മിനിറ്റാണ് ഈ ഒരു വീഡിയോയുടെ ലെങ്ത്. നമുക്ക് 978ാമത്തെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനാണ്. ദ ലോജിസ്റ്റിക്സ് പെർഫോമൻസ് ഇൻഡെക്സ് ഇസ് റീച്ച്ഡ് ബൈ വിച്ച് ഓഫ് ദ മാൻ? ഓഫ് കോഴ്സ് ആരാണ്? നമ്മുടെ വേൾഡ് ബാങ്കാണ് അല്ലേ? വേൾഡ് ബാങ്കാണ്. ഓക്കെ, വേൾഡ് ബാങ്കാണ്. പിന്നെ 977 ഇത് ടോട്ടലൈസേഷൻ അഗ്രിമെൻറ്റ് ഈസ് റിലേറ്റഡ് ടു which are the following? Okay, avoiding to double taxation income with respect to. Okay, totalization agreement എന്നതെന്ന് ആദ്യം അറിയണം. 977 these are bilateral agreements entered between countries to avoid double taxation of income. Okay, these are bilateral agreements which are entered between countries, okay, to avoid double taxation of income with respect to the social security taxes. United States has entered into totalization the bilateral agreements between countries to avoid double taxation of income with respect to the social security taxes. United States has entered into the totalization agreements with several countries. These agreements must be taken into account when determining whether any alien is subject to the United States social security or Medicare tax, or whether any US citizens or resident alien is subject to the social security taxes of a foreign country. Any alien who wishes to claim an exemption from United States social security taxes and Medicare taxes because of totalization agreement must secure a certificate of coverage from the Social Security Agency of this home country and present a certificate of coverage to his employer in the United States. India has still not signed totalization agreement with the United States, but will be pitched for a totalization act to protect the interests of professionals of Indian origin who contribute more than $1 billion each year to the United States security through federal taxes without availing any benefits in return. Okay, these are bilateral agreements entered between countries to avoid double taxation of income with respect to the social security taxes. Okay, United States has entered into the relationship with several countries. These agreements must be taken into account when determining whether any alien is subject to the United States social security or Medicare tax, or whether any United States citizen or resident alien is subject to the social security taxes of a foreign country. Okay, foreign country. Okay, or where there is any citizen or resident alien is subject to the foreign country. Any alien who wishes to claim an exception from United States social security taxes and Medicare taxes because of the totalization agreement must secure a certificate of coverage from the Social Security Agency of his home country and present such certificate of coverage to his employer at the United States. India has still now not signed totalization agreement with the United States, but it will pitch for a totalization back to protect interests of professionals of Indian origin who contribute more than $1 billion each year to the United States Social Security through federal taxes without availing any benefits in return. 977 the totalization agreement is related to which of the following? The respect to social security taxes. Okay, the respect to okay, one ആണ്. ഓക്കെ, ഫണ്ട് മാത്രമാണ് 977. പിന്നെ വേൾഡ് ബാങ്ക് ഹാസ് ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് ദി കൺസെപ്റ്റ്സ് ഓഫ് ലേണിംഗ് പോവർട്ടി വിച്ച് ഈസ് ഡിഫൈൻഡ് ആസ് 976 എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വേൾഡ് ബാങ്ക് ഹാസ് ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് ദ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ലേണിംഗ് പോവർട്ടി in coordination with the UNESCO Institute of Statistics. Learning poverty means being unable to read and understand a simple text by age of 10. World Bank believes that all children should be able to read by age 10. Reading is a gateway for learning for the child progresses through school, and conversely an inability to read slams that gate shut. Okay, because this, when children cannot read, it is usually a clear indication that school systems are organized to help children learn in their areas as math, science and humanities, and although it is possible to learn later in life with enough effort. Okay, children who don't read by age 10 or realize the end of the primary usually fail to master reading later in their schooling career. There is an urgent need for society-wide commitment to invest more and better in people. If children cannot read, all education institutions are at risk. Eliminating learning hunger, poverty is poverty, or eliminating extreme monetary poverty, stunting or hunger. Okay, world believes is that all children should be able to read by the age of 10. Okay, reading is a gateway for learning as a child progresses to school, and an inability to read slams the gate. Beyond this, when children cannot read, a clear school systems are not organized to help children learn in the other areas such as math, science and humanities, and although it is possible to later in their life even with enough effort. അപ്പോൾ അതാണ് 10 വയസ്സാണ്. 976 വേൾഡ് ബാങ്ക് ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ദ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ലേണിംഗ് പോവർട്ടി വിച്ച് ഈസ് ഡിഫൈൻഡ് ആസ് cannot 10-year-old. Okay, was a 10-year-old children who cannot read and understand a simple text. 976 the following agency conducts time use survey of India. Okay, which of the following agency conducts time use survey of India? Time use survey. Okay, 975 National Statistical Office NSO conducted the first time use survey, that is TUS, in India during January to December 2019. The primary objective of time use survey TUS is to measure participation of men women in paid and unpaid activities. The primary objective of time use survey is TUS is to measure participation of men and women in paid and unpaid activities. The TUS is an important source of information on the time spent in unpaid coverage in caregiving activities, volunteer work, unpaid domestic service work. Okay, produce activities of household duties. Also provides information on time spent on learning, socializing, leisure activities, self-care activities, etc. by the household members. The TUS survey captures how much time is spent by each member about 6 years. The household on different activities in 24 hours time slot. The primary objective of time use survey TUS is to measure participation of men and women in paid and unpaid activities. Okay, TUS is an important source of information on the time spent in the unpaid caregiving activities, volunteer work, unpaid domestic service producing activities of the household. Okay, volunteer or unpaid domestic service producing activities of the household members. It also provides information on time spent on learning, socializing, leisure activities, self-care activities by the household members. The TUS survey captures how much time is spent by each member about 6 years of the household on different activities in 24 hours time slot. Okay, that is national census is conducted by which office or agencies? The national census is conducted by which offices or agencies? Okay, national census which offices or agencies? C. Registrar General and Census Commissioner, Minister of Home Affairs. The national census is conducted by which of the following agencies? Okay, Registrar General and Census Commissioner, Minister of Home Affairs. Okay, national census is conducted by the Registrar General and Census Commissioner, Minister of Home Affairs. Now you have to consider the following statement regarding the newly enacted the Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions for 2020. Okay. Consider the following statement regarding the newly enacted the Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code of 2020. Okay, 1973 C ആണ് സിയിൽ എന്താ പറയുന്നത് both 1 and 2. Okay, in interstate migrant worker is one whose wages does not exceed rupees 18,000 per hour. Employment of woman has been allowed all the self-knowledge works in the night shift also. Okay. 1973. Consider the following statements regarding the newly enacted the Code of Social Security 2020. Okay, consider the following statements regarding newly enacted the Code on Social Security, that is 2020. Okay. 1972 C എന്നാണ് both 1 and 2. Okay, Social Security Fund is proposed to be established for workers of unorganized sectors. Okay, aggregators will have to contribute a small portion of this amount, which will be used to pay gig and platform workers. 1971. Consider the following statement regarding the newly enacted the Industrial Relations Code 2000. Consider the following statements regarding the newly enacted the Industrial Relations Code of 2020. Okay. Consider the following statements regarding the newly enacted the Industrial Relations Code of 2020. Okay, 1971 C. Both 1 and 2. Permissions will not be required from the government to close a factory if the number of workers is less than 300. Fixed term employment has been made applicable for all industries. Okay. Next we have consider the following statements regarding the newly enacted the Code of Wages 2019. Okay, 2019. See, okay, there will be a statutory minimum for floor wage which will be applicable for both organized and unorganized sector laborers. Okay, this code will not be applicable to Manrega wages. There will be a statutory minimum or floor wage. There will be a statutory or minimum floor wage which will be applicable for both organized and unorganized sector laborers. Okay, this code will not be applicable to there will be a statutory minimum floor wage which will be applicable for both organized and unorganized sectors laborers. Okay, this code will not be applicable to Manrega wages. Okay, there will be a statutory minimum floor wage which will be applicable for both organized and unorganized sector laborers. There will be statutory minimum or floor wage which will be applicable for both organized and unorganized sector laborers. Okay, the code will not be applicable to Manrega wages. Consider the following statements. Okay, regarding the newly enacted the Code of Wages. Okay, there will be a statutory there will be statutory minimum for which will be applicable for both organized. This code will not applicable to Manrega wages. The wage rates of Manrega workers revised annually based on wage index. 1969 E ആണ്. Okay, the wage rates of CPI agricultural labour. Okay, the wage rates of workers under the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, that is MNREGA 2005, are modified and revised annually based on the Consumer Price Index agricultural labour, that is CPI, by the central government in accordance with the provisions of Section 1 of the Mahatma Gandhi MNREGA. Okay, MNREGA Act, MNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi, Section 1 MNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Okay, the revised wage rates are made applicable staple of the year. Okay, the committee under the chairmanship of former additional secretary, Minister of Rural Development and Institute of Study, among other things, the appropriate index for revising MNREGA, which is the committee recommended using consumer price index rural instead of the existing CPI for revising MNREGA wages every year. The committee also recommended using annual average instead of the existing practice of using December month index only. The recommendations of the committee are under consideration of the Ministry of Finance. 967 എന്താ the following statements with respect to the headcount ratio. The headcount ratio HCR is the proportion of a population that exists or lives below the poverty line. The poverty headcount ratio at national poverty line percentage of population in India was stated report 21.9% as per the Tendulkar committee. And total fertility is defined as the total number of children that would be born to each woman if she were to live the end of her childbearing years. The replacement level of fertility is the level of fertility at which the replacement level fertility is the level of fertility at which population exactly replaces itself. Replacement level fertility, okay, is the level of fertility. Okay, it's the level of fertility at which a population exactly replaces itself. Okay, replacement level fertility is the level of fertility at which population exactly replaces itself from one generation to the next. The replacement level fertility is the level of fertility. Okay, replacement level of fertility is the level of fertility at which a population exactly replaces itself from one generation to the next. Ideally, it should be 2.0, but generally it is 2.0 all over the world, as we cannot expect all the female children will survive till the child. Okay, the total fertility rate is defined as the total number of children that would be born to each woman if she were to live at the end of her childbearing years. Okay, replacement level of fertility at which a population exactly replaces itself from one generation. Ideally, it should be 2.0, but generally it is 2.1 all over the world, as we cannot expect all the female children will survive till the child of ideally as per the National Family Survey, Indifera has declined as 2.0, which is below the replacement level fertility level. The next 2 decades, due to population movement, it occurs because of its not only the number of children per woman and that intermediate population growth, but also number of reproductive age, which is more for India, and continued rise in life expectancy.